The following Prezi will give information about the ELPS, or the English Language Proficiency Standards. The objectives, you'll be able to recognize what the ELPS are, and you can develop a plan using the ELPS to meet the needs of your English language learners in your classroom. So what are the ELPS? They're a set of standards that all ELL, or English language learning students, should master as they acquire English proficiency. The ELPS are a requirement in the state of Texas under our TEKS, or our objectives. Here's an example. If you look up the ELPS on the TEA website, of what you'll find. So you may be wondering, how do the ELPS help our students? Well, the goal is to help students gain language proficiency in social and academic language. So breaking that up, social language is basically the face-to-face or conversational language that students use when they're talking to their friends. It's a simpler language. They're using shorter sentences and they're using simple vocabulary. You'll notice in social language, students will get a lot of their cues and clues from expression, like a gesture and social context, and they have a lot of opportunities to clarify or to ask for clarification from others based on looks that they give and asking questions. We also have academic language. So this is like technical vocabulary. It's longer grammatical sentences, more complex. A lot of times it's a lecture style communication, so reading from a textbook. It can be a lot more difficult to understand because a lot of it is abstract or complex, and so students have to have background knowledge in order to build on it. You have fewer clues whenever you're dealing with academic language, and it can be a lot more difficult to clarify. It's important when teaching academic language that you use a lot of visuals because students need to have that scaffolding and that prior knowledge to build to be able to understand. We assess our ELPS using TELPAS. So to break it up, STAR measures how well students compose, revise, or edit text as required by the TEKS and language arts standards. But the TELPAS measures how well ELLs, or English language learners, are able to use English to express their ideas in order to learn all of those skills that the STAR is assessing. So TELPAS is what we use to measure our ELPS. The different proficiency levels that we have, we start with beginning level. This is little to no ability. They use high frequency routine words in writing, typically lists, labels, and copies. The next proficiency level that we'll talk about is the intermediate level. So these students have a limited ability, so they're understanding a little bit more. They're using short, simple sentences, and they use present tense. So they have a lot of difficulty deciphering between different tenses, so that's why they speak in the present. Next, we have the advanced level. Typically, they have a grasp of basic verbs and different tenses. They understand sentence patterns, and they have a little bit more of a grasp of complex verbs, but they still need support. And then our final level is the advanced high level. They have ability with limited or minimal support. They're very close to what you would typically see a native English language speaker in a classroom. So these are the levels that we need to know in order to address our students' needs.